Hey guys, Dark Wolf here, and today I have came up with a new what if. I know I haven't posted in a while. That's my fault. Uh, Originally we were at our old house when I was making these what ifs, which was a long time ago, and then I got caught up in school, football, other stuff, and I was finally able to come back. And I probably won't be able to continue my old two series. The what if Deku was a panther, and what if Deku had a fire and ice wolf quirk? But sorry, but today I had this new idea to come up with a what if Naruto. I've been seeing so many of them, and I've been watching them since I really like Naruto. I also like My Hero Academia. It's kind of hard when you like both to think of a permanent thing you'd want to see. But for this, I came up with what if Naruto had a cat Genkai? And I guess you can count it also as a dojutsu because of the slit eyes. But the kekkei Genkai, instead of having hand signs to do all this stuff and all that, it'll be more like how do I put this? You know how Kimamaru's bone release works? How it like shows the bones when he activates it or uses it? It would be more like a showing type kekkei Genkai, but it also comes with abilities. And the way you can't really tell if it's active or not because it's almost always active. So, since we don't really know much about Minato's family, like father, mother, and all that, my idea was his father was a Namikaze, still like his normal Namikaze, and his mother was basically a part of this cat clan. You all can come up with the name of it in the description or in the comments if I can figure out how to activate it. If it isn't activated, his mother is still Kushina, which is still an Uzumaki, meaning still has that basically bottomless pit of chakra, or close to a bottomless pit, if he gets the nine tails. I think I should give him the nine tails. Yeah, I'll do that. So the nine tail attack, in my eyes, I couldn't see how it would go different because let's just say Minato never was able to activate this Genkai, so he would never get this cat looking like looks. So, yeah. So he still looks like a normal Minato Namikaze. Just, let's just say the only thing that's different on him is his eyes, but they're slit. Like they're slit. But he put let's say a Genjutsu on them. So they look normal. Like normal people's, where you only have that black circle in. I think he has a black circle in his eyes. I never really looked. Okay. So the nine tail attack in my eyes would still go the same. They Minato and Kushina would still die. Minato by the Reaper Death Seal, Kushina by the Claw. Them saying their final last words. Saratobi would show up. Hiruzen Saratobi would show up, and Minato would also give him a scroll that he's always been carrying with himself for a long period of time of his mother, telling with the final words of basically saying if Naruto awakens this Kekkei, please tell him at least a little bit about it more. Which I do have some of the cat stuff I had ideas of on the back of my paper that I'm looking at right now. Well, paper I had right down. I'm not going fully off of a script. I have a script in front of me, but I'm not going to go off of it. It's just like the beginning intro that I'm doing right now. Back to the story. And basically, he gets, in my eyes, Naruto will get ears and a tail when he awakens this. Let's just say he's burned with it. Like, the tail and ears, he's burned with them because the Genkai is already showing, but they're really small. And, so yeah. And, let's continue now. Um, his eyes are slit as a baby. The ceiling still goes the same, but let's say more Naruto's more Uzumaki. No, yes. Naruto and okay, this is how I think it would work. The cat blood type Kekkei that's in him it's more overwhelming, so he looks more like his grandmother, which in this case I will say has more of a which would be more like a how would I put this for an animal's perspective? More like a Black Panther's. You know how their coat is like here, I'll zoom in on it. You see how the Black Panther's coat is like a purplish type black? Like black but purplish at the same time if you're not aware. Let's put it that way. It looks his hair would look a little bit like that. His eye color, I know it says has a slit, but let's see which animal do I want it to be. I didn't really think about this fully because I want it to be a slit still. I can't remember. Let's say more like a leopard's. Yeah, a leopard's slit eye. Or a jaguar. Let's go with jaguar because you zoom in here. It's more like a greenish eye, so like most cats. But instead of being green, let's say it's more of a hmm, like a dark, no, a light blue. Like almost like his eyes in Naruto. No, let's say a darker. Like a little bit darker than Minato's. Still recognizable. So, okay. So he has black hair, basically dark blue eyes, with a slit in it for pupils. He has a tail, which also looks like a Black Panther's tail, and the ears are also looking Black Panthery. I'll try to find a picture of Naruto. It might not be easy since people don't really make cat Naruto fan arts of a Black Panther Naruto. But then back to the story. Let's say a time skip about 5 years. So he's 5 years old now since the Fox incident. He's running away from the villagers and probably some ninjas because if I remember correctly, there's still some Chunies and Guineas that still try to attack him. I don't really see the Jonies coming after him because if they're not smart enough to realize that's Minato's son because of being at the Ninetales attack, then yeah, I don't think they should be Jun Chuny Guineas, not Guineas. I can't even speak no more. But yeah, let's continue. Well, he's running, and he gets enhanced speed because you know cats are really fast. He look, and they're attacking him, and like let's say his speed's about right now for a 5-year-old low tuning because you know very cats are really fast, and he's basically the human form of a cat, so he's running really fast, and so he was able to get to his house, luckily, because he's also really agile. So he's basically jumping side to side from building things and all that. I'll put his powers, like what he can do, in the description, like what his cat abilities do. I might put, yeah, I'll put that in the description instead of listing it off. Actually, I could lift some of it off. Let me flip my paper over. So he has enhanced agility, balance, durability, endurance, flexibility. He's smarter, he has higher jumps, and he's like a sensory type nin. How they have like higher awareness, meaning they're almost always on guard. He has hearing, smelling, he can track. He's like a tracking nin as well. He also has night vision when he wants to use it, which you'll know when he has night vision on because his eyes will start glowing in the dark. And let's say he also has enhanced speed movement for really high. He's also really stealthy, as you can tell. For most cats, they're almost always stealthy. He has really enhanced strength. He can swim really fast because, as you know, some of these cats on the screen can swim. He has fighting instincts because if you don't know, cats are more like if they don't know how to fight, they're kind of screwed. So basically, by naturally, they know how to fight. He has claws. He has a really powerful bite, and he can climb with his claws and all that. His tail is like basically a bone. You know how like when you're bending like your fingers and using it, like you're using your whole arms or stuff, how your bones move. He can control his tail to his will, to a very high instinct. So he can basically use it as a weapon if he wants to. Well, not really as a weapon, but if no one's using like their hands or something, he can wrap around the person and sling them away. Which actually that might come in very interesting fights. But back to the story. Those were his abilities. He gets home, he's hiding, and he notices something because he knows he looks like a cat, and he knows about his Genkai because Hiruzen had told him about it, about his father's mother who had this Genkai. It's like really rare for them. Like she was the last of her kind, and let's just say she doesn't live no worse. Like she died during childbirth with Minato, and so Naruto's the only one who will have this Genkai. And how long are we? We're already 10 minutes. Let's continue. So basically, Naruto realizes there's like a box on his bed, and it says left by Hiruzen. So Hiruzen came to his house, noticed he wasn't there, and left him a present. Because let's say today is Naruto's birthday, so he just turned 5 for this birthday, and if I remember correctly, let's just say the academy starts at the age of 8. Hiruzen has a that box holds some jutsus in it, like let's say like the basic academy jutsus. But instead of a regular shadow clone that they have to do, let's say it's more of a multi shadow clone from the scroll ceiling type, that one. Because I believe he would try to teach him that one because it would be more easier. Because they know Naruto's chakra basically monster here. He's a beast when it comes to chakra, so yeah. So Hiruzen would teach Naruto, will give him a scroll that has the multi-shadow jutsu in it, and only that one. Naruto will be practicing for basically, let's say about, it takes Naruto, let's say 3 weeks for this, because you have to realize, he's 5, he isn't 12 in this one. So he learns finally, and let's say he can make 5 clones with his chakra control right now. He realizes, okay, I want to get my goal to 10. So he goes into a training ground, let's say it's an abandoned one, that no one uses no more. I don't think there's like a team. Is there a team 13? Okay, just out of sake, let's say team 15 training ground, where he goes to. Where there's like a pool of water that goes like a river, some trees here and there, and 3 logs, like the normal training grounds are supposed to have. Um, so Naruto's doing chakra trail training. So he starts off trying to do tree walking. He realizes it's harder than he thought, so let's say this takes him about, 7, no, mm, let's say about 2.5 weeks. Because this is still before the academy, so he's trying his best to train as much as he possibly can for the academy. So he can be strong enough to survive against the, villagers and the ninjas that's trying to attack him in the village itself. He would visit Hiruzen and talk to him about finding out what his chakra natures are. Okay? So Hiruzen, of course, would agree because he's like a grandfather, well, grandson to Naruto. Naruto's a grandson to him. And he would go and give him a chakra paper. It would split, let's say, into 4 things, meaning he has a 1 affinity. The top left one would soak, which means he also has a water affinity. The right one would crinkle, which means he has lightning. The bottom left would turn into dust, which means he has earth. And the bottom right would turn into, will catch on fire, meaning he has fire. Give me a second. Sorry about that. I think more might come on my way, so let me get a drink. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to get a drink. So, Hiruzen would be shocked because Naruto has all 5 chakra natures and his very own Genkai, which doesn't really have a chakra nature to it. Um, so it's by itself. It's its own very special Genkai. Like, the only way to get it is if Naruto had kids. And yeah, I'm not really good at romance, but I'll try my best if I can figure out who would be good with him. Okay, but continuing the story, Hiruzen would be shocked and would ask Naruto if he knew he could had all five elements, and be surprised because not even his father had all five elements, nor his mother. And so he's kind of shocked. So he thinks, okay, maybe his grandparents off one family may have had some of these elements, and he just inherited all five of them. So he was shocked, but he said, Naruto, let's take you to go get a bowl of, or some ramen. Naruto, of course, being excited, would pump his hands in the air, well, fist in the air, like, yay, ramen! And would go with his, basically Hiruzen, to get some ramen. They would be eating some ramen, and Naruto would ask Hiruzen, once he becomes 8, can he join the Ninja Academy? Hiruzen, Hiruzen chuckling about this a little bit. Naruto being, what's so funny? He's like, I knew you was gonna ask that, so of course you can, says Hiruzen. Um, so Naruto, being really excited, would ask for more ramen, of course, getting it. And I can't remember the old man's daughter's name. I think it was Amy. Yeah, let's say Amy. Let's say she's like 1 year older to Naruto, and they know each other for a while. Like she protects Naruto when he's around the stand from the villagers, and so is the old man. So there basically has a brother-sister relationship, and Amy always is her name Amy? I think it's Amy. Is it? No. Yes. I'll just say her name's Amy, because I cannot remember her name. So her being really excited about this would hug Naruto because he gets to become a ninja. Him being really excited would hug back, and then her realizing that his tail's wagging a lot would go and touch Naruto's top of his head because she is taller than Naruto by a little. Because Naruto's younger than her, Naruto would start to purr, which she would find hilarious, and Naruto would be like, "Stop it," because she would be chuckling a lot. Because he can't help it. He's also still has his whisker marks, but they're more like not really like indented to his skin. They're more sticking out like a regular cat whisker. So you can physically touch the whisker this time and not see it inside the skin. So he has not also met Kurama yet. Let's just put it this way: Kurama has been looking through Naruto's eyes and still astonished that he has a cat as a host, basically, and he's a fox. So he's trying to figure out how this will work out, like a cat and a fox. So he's trying to figure this one out, and his Kurama's like, this is going to be a either a really good thing or a really bad thing. Because if you didn't know, foxes are basically a mixed breed. Well, not really a mixed breed. They're their own animals. They can breed it with each other. So they're their own species, but they act like a cat and a dog at the same time, if you haven't noticed. Which always gets me figuring out, are they canine or feline? Because they act like a cat too. Well, some of them. But, yeah, back to the story. Naruto going back to rest, to sleep at his house. And let's say time skip about 3 years. So he's 8 now. And it's the first day of the academy. Let's just say, now that Hiruzen has made a law saying no one can mess with Naruto, say anything about Naruto, and the villagers have stopped hunting him down once Hiruzen finally gave them the speech of he's just the jailer of the Kyuubi. He could release it on y'all and kill all y'all if he really wanted to. The villagers being scared would agree and figure out, well, it's Hiruzen saying his famous speech of, is the scroll a kunai, or is the scroll the thing holding the kunai, basically. And the villagers would finally figure that out, and some of the Chunies and all that, so they wouldn't want revenge. They would start being a bit nicer to Naruto, still being somewhat terrified of him at sometimes when he's mad at them when they do try to almost do something dumb. He would start the academy and go in there, and all the girls looking at him. This was originally looking at Sasuke, emo king in the future, but the Uchiha clan has not been killed off yet, and so the girls look at Naruto for like a second, and then they stop fangirling over Sasuke in a way. Not all, let's say a few girls and Sakura, which is still the lead of like the Sasuke fangirl club, because Sasuke isn't really emo or anything, and he's okay with Naruto because let's say they've seen each other a few times because of Itachi having to guard Naruto every once in a while. And Itachi has talked about Naruto a lot around their family, so he's got to meet Naruto a few times with Itachi, and they hang out. Sasuke still is trying to figure out how Naruto is like basically half human, half cat, but he finds it adorable because he sees a mixed breed human basically, and he likes cats. Let's put it this way: he likes cats. He is not gonna be gay. He's not gonna go after Naruto or anything. He just finds it interesting how he's a cat. But all like the girls, thinking this is the cutest thing in the world, would run up to Naruto and try to pet him. And Naruto, being the agile person he is able to basically use his chakra, will backflip from the door onto the wall, and get onto the roof and sit in his seat. And let's say he sits beside Choji and Shikamaru. Shikamaru being interesting that he's a cat for sure, because if we all know Shikamaru is a cat person, no one could tell me he ain't. Like, come on. This man's so tired, he acts like a cat. He just isn't. He's just a human version of a cat. Like, he's a cat in human skin, basically. And so, him going back to sleep after noticing Naruto's choosing to sit beside him, after, like, how are humans becoming animals now? Like, what type of world has this become? This is too troublesome for me to figure out. Choji being, like, the same person he is like, do you want some chips? Naruto, of course, agreeing and eating some chips. Also, Naruto doesn't have the same, like, downsides of a cat, like how they have to, when they, like, eat certain foods that he won't get sick type style. He can eat the same thing as a human. Like, let's say if he was a dog. Dogs can't eat chocolate, but if Naruto was a dog, he could. But this is what if Naruto was a cat, so you basically get what I'm trying to say. So, Naruto, being the interesting thing he is, would agree with Choji, and they would eat some chips. Iruka would finally walk in, notice Naruto, and be kind of suspicious of why there's, like, he sees cat ears at first, thinking someone let a cat in the school, but then he sees Naruto's whole face, so he's like, oh, this must be Naruto. Hiruzen told me a bit about his Genkai, so he kept it secret. He kept his mouth shut, and so did Naruto. And then everyone's still talking. Hiruzen uses his big head jutsu, which I'm pretty sure every sensei must know by now, because they almost always use it when their team isn't listening to them. So he would use it, and everyone would quiet down, and they would start studying. And then Iruka would say, let's see how much taijutsu you guys already know." And he would basically put people against each other. And let's go into the Naruto versus Sasuke for this. And Naruto would fight Sasuke. Naruto, of course, winning. Due to him being more agile and having fight instincts of a cat. So Naruto would get on all fours. Akamaru, he's okay with Naruto. He still, like, would chase him if he could, but Kiba's keeping him under control. And he beats Sasuke with ease because Sasuke couldn't let a hit on him because let's just say cats are double jointed. They can bend their body in any direction they need to. And of course Naruto also has claws, so that increases the damage of his taijutsu. Because they'll just bleed out if he gets one good scratch on you. Except for Orochimaru, that snake slick person. I was going, well now I'll just say it, slick bastard. Um, let's just get into this, continue this. Well, Naruto wins the match. Iruka, of course, being shocked because Naruto already knows some taijutsu of a cat. Because there is a, let's say, a cat stance, and Iruka doesn't really know it to the full extent. But he does know about it because of Hiruzen telling him about Naruto's scroll that he got from his father that came from his grandmother, who had basically all the abilities of the cat could do and some of the fighting styles that the cats would use. The cat Genkai, because it's been wiped out. She was the last one, and now, boom, it's all gone. So, yeah, just continue this again. Um, so, class would end, and Naruto would try to head home. But so many girls would try to hunt him down for because of his cuteness of looking like a cat. And of course some boys, because I'm not going against people who's gay or anything. Or some girls as well, because not all girls would find cats cute, or unless they're already dating someone and their boyfriend or girlfriend has stopped them. But I'm not against anything. Like I said, I'm not really against anything. One of my friends are bi. I have a friend know someone who's also gay. I know too many other people whose sexualities I really don't care about. They're nice to me, I'm nice back. That's just how this works for me. But I'm continuing the story. So Naruto, of course, finally getting home, will go to bed, and nothing interesting happens. But I'm gonna leave this off for here for now. I'll come back whenever I can. Sorry about that cough. And so yeah, I cannot make any promises about my first two series coming in. Continuing, I will try my hardest. If I do, let's see what this one hits. I'll give it a like goal of 3. Just 3 likes for this one. Well guys, I'll see you guys later.